$4 billion liquidated, is still holding as support, always broke to the upside, all the way down here at $67,500. The Bitcoin price is still going down, and I know frustration is growing bigger and bigger for everyone here, but we have a lot of factors coming into play that are telling me that the Bitcoin price might see here a really solid bounce in the imminent short term, with global economic factors playing a role and also historical fractures that I'm going to show you in this video. Let's go. I had told you in the past that the moon phases, funny enough, have an impact on the markets. So, and today we are going to get another full moon. And during full moon phases, the Bitcoin price always rallied to the upside. So you can see that here, where we had a dump to the downside and then came here back up to like $71,000. We had the same thing happening over here. We got a dump to the downside a little bit, then we came back up slightly. And also here, where we had a massive green candle to the upside and continuation to the $71,700 level. So today, potentially, or more or less tomorrow, we could see Bitcoin price rallying back into the $66,000, $67,000 range. And I'm going to show you why I believe that we are potentially reaching these levels here. On the 4-hourly chart, finally, guys, we have now technically filled the fair value gap. We came all the way down here to $63,400. We basically missed $400 of the gap. But if you remember a couple days ago, I told you that when you get really close to fill the whole gap and there's a tiny itsy bit left, you can consider it to be filled. Of course, we could go all the way down here still through the day and retest these lower levels here once again, but it doesn't look like that we are going to get this today. I believe that this fair value gap is closed for the time being, and you see also we got already a strong reaction out of the fair value gap back to the upside. But what we need now is confirmation and a full reversal back to the upside above $66,000. Here on the daily chart, I will show you why we could go today a little bit lower, and that is when we look at the market structure here. And based on the market structure, I pulled the Fibonacci retracement level. You can see here we got really close to 0.618, 0.65, the golden ratio. And in terms of retracements, and that is usually a really strong bounce level. So we did not hit it to the dollar, but we got really close. And the only big question is right now, was that close enough to initiate now a reversal, or do we really need to get all the way down in here for a move, a short-term move back to the upside? So what I'm doing right now, and you should potentially do the same, is I have some scalp positions in this level here between 62,700, 63,200. There I have buy orders on leverage for scalping purposes placed right now. And my stop loss is at $61,900. So just in case that price keeps going down, I get stopped out there. I don't believe that we're going to reach these levels because around $62,000 is really strong support. So how did I come up with pulling the Fibonacci retracement level like that? Because I was looking at the level that we are stuck under and cannot break, and that is here the all-time high of $73,900, $74,000. And then here the support, the underlying support. When you draw the Fibonacci levels like that, you come up here with the 0.618 at the $63,200 level. So you can go and just draw it yourself like that and keep it on the chart just in case that we are coming down here. So when do you draw the lines like that? Really easy. You have here a higher high. You create lower highs here along the line, lower high, lower high, lower high, and also higher lows in the beginning. And then you start creating lower lows. And when you see that shifting in the market structure, so that was basically shifting from here, where we created a higher low down here, and then local higher highs. That is the shift in the market structure. And then you go and draw from the prior high that we could not break to the prior low that we also did not break. And that will give you then the golden ratio that you are looking for. Also here on the weekly chart, the Bollinger Bands, so the middle level is still holding as support, but if we cannot close the weekly candle above that level, we might be in for one more leg to the downside before we finally get a bounce here. Historically speaking, in a bull market, when we are coming here into the middle band was always holding as support. So I expect here definitely in the next 3 days a massive reversal back into higher price levels based on these Bollinger Bands. And here our Bitcoin correction chart. Remember guys, we are also coming now into the 102-day range. With today's daily close, we will have reached it. There's another indication that over the next coming days, we're going to see here a big move back to the upside. And would be highly unlikely to not get a short-term bounce after we move down here for 2 weeks now. So after 2 weeks, guys, I think we deserve a bounce back to the upside. So how will this bounce most likely look like? Again, we have here support levels at $62,100. There is the next biggest support level. If we reach it, expect from there a massive move back to the upside. If we are bouncing from here because of the moon phases and all other indications, then we are also fine with that. We are prepared for that. Just go to the video from 2 days ago. I gave you the perfect entry levels from where I'm looking to enter Bitcoin on the way to the upside. Now, on this daily chart, Bitcoin is still within the falling wedge pattern, but you see also we are really close to break this to the downside. So that is something that we don't want to see here, of course. Don't want to get a breakdown to the downside because we are risking then to go all the way down to the support level of $56,500 and rather hold at least the falling wedge and get a breakout by tomorrow to the upside. Now, there are historical fractures that are pointing to the scenario that we're going to get that. And for that, I have to move here to another chart. So first of all, on this daily chart, you see that the indicators all are super flatlining in oversold conditions. The stochastic RSI for now already a week. The RSI is going down since over 2 weeks here. Now in slightly oversold conditions. And the MACD, of course, is also looking bearish. When we're going now to the historical fractures, you see that when we had a falling wedge pattern, the last couple of times we always broke to the upside. We got here last year almost a 21% move to the upside. Then in August, an 80% move to the upside. Then in January, when we got the ETF approval, we got almost 10% move to the upside. And then here in February, another 24% move to the upside, really strong. Now, if you average that out, that will give you roughly a 15% move to the upside. So if we would break out by today or tomorrow out of this falling wedge pattern and we measure that with a 15% move to the upside, that will bring us close to the all-time high here once again. Am I saying that we have to reach these kind of levels here when we break out? No, we don't have to. I would be happy enough with Bitcoin reclaiming here the $67,400 level, form here some support and some sideways range before we then get a proper move to the upside. In terms of the order book, we are having a look here. The order book is also telling us clearly that there is still some support below us, all the way down to $61,000. But you see also here these bits that we had stacked up here getting eaten up here right now. And that is not a good sign, because once these bits are gone there, and these are the levels that are holding us right now afloat, once our buy orders are gone and nobody wants to buy at these levels anymore, guess what? What's going to happen? We move to the downside. Buyers need to step in here, bulls need to step in here to push price back to the upside. When it comes to the liquidation levels, here also the lowest that I see is $62,100, because then we have liquidated even the low leveraged longs. Once there is no liquidity left anymore, the only way is to the upside. Look now how the liquidation levels have shifted here, especially the over leveraged ones. and also some late shorters that came in, the direction is overall to the upside. When you look at these factors, there is only that way left. We will not move easily below the $60,000 level. And once we continue here to go a little bit lower, remember guys, the lower we go and the longer we go to the downside, the more you basically squeeze the spring. And once all the kinetic energy that it can take is inside and you release it, it is jumping and snapping to the upside. So, and that is what we are looking at here right now in this downwards consolidation phase that we are seeing here. So at some point we're going to get a nice snap to the upside, and that's what we're waiting for here. When we're going to the liquidation heat map, here are over $10 billion around the $72,000 level right now stacked up. So once we are moving here to the upside, already at $67,400, $4 billion liquidated, $5 billion, $6 billion, $8 billion. Already, if we only reach $68,000, $10 billion, $68,000, yeah, $12 billion, 12 and a half, 14. So you see here is over $20 billion stacked if we reach the $72,000 level, but I was only calculating now what is basically in grasp, really close to current price action. So, and that is here the $68,000 level. If we go to 68, over $12 billion worth of shorts will be liquidated. So, and in this initial bounce back to the upside, I definitely see that to be in the cards for us. And guys, if you want to trade this bounce, I'm gonna give you an exact setup afterwards, here straight afterwards. Go to BYBIT, you still get $30,000 if you use the link down below here, and you will be also eligible for one entry in our weekly $1,000 giveaway. You only need to deposit $100. Be a subscriber to the channel and have the notifications on, and open one trade, even if it's just $1. Open it, close it, within 30 seconds, you're eligible for the $1,000 giveaway. If you cannot use BYBIT, use Margex, also with the link down below here, because they don't have any KYC. Or if you just want to copy trade me, go to FAIRDESK with the biggest bonus in the industry, $120,000. All these links are in the pinned comment below and in the description of this video. So now let's talk a little bit about the Bitcoin dominance. So the Bitcoin dominance is moving exactly as we were expecting it. Remember when I draw in here the directional move for the dominance, that's exactly what we are seeing. But unfortunately, Bitcoin is moving to the downside. So that's why altcoins are not seeing so much green as we would like to see it here in that corrective move. But also remember, I told you when we get here to the 55% level and we get here one bounce to the upside, that will coincide with a bounce in Bitcoin price-wise. And once we then start moving sideways in the Bitcoin price action, that will be the moment where the dominance will keep falling again, and there we're gonna see massive returns when we are positioned in altcoins. For example, Ethereum is still holding here really strong. Current support levels at $3,450. As long as we are sitting here above that level, there is no real reason to be concerned. Also here we are held down by this downward sloping trend line, and we're getting here to an apex that is also telling me that the market is quite synced with Bitcoin across the board. And once we are seeing a move in Bitcoin, the whole market will react to that and break above these downward sloping trend lines that we see across the board and most of all altcoins here. The imminent target will be $3,700. Here, if you want to enter around the $3,500 level, then you can trade this to $3,700, and the initial stop loss will be slightly here below the support at $3,420, and that is the scalp setup for Ethereum. Then Solana is not having a really good day, but also here on daily heavily already overextended in terms of being oversold on the stochastic RSI. The RSI is showing slightly signs of a turnaround finally, and also the MACD is starting to show a slight bullishness with creating a lighter red candle today. Here also the downward sloping trend line needs to be broken to get confirmation that we are ready to get a reversal, and until then the fair value gap should hold as our major support level. So we could see here over the next 48 hours a move back to $126. If you get it, I would buy as much Solana as you wish to buy here, because a reversal is definitely coming here over the next let's say 48 hours for the whole crypto market, not only for Bitcoin. But of course Bitcoin will have the first move. So I almost forgot to give you the Bitcoin trade that I wanted to show you. So I go back to this chart here. What I'm looking at is here the entry above $64,400. So there's roughly a $500 move from current levels. Almost 0.8% or something like that. $67,500 will be my take profit, and 62,900 is my stop loss. So here that is a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, hence why I use this as a scalp. So I would not hold this position long term with that kind of risk to reward ratio. So that's why I turn this into a scalp, and if we break higher, then I just keep riding it, and that will then heavily increase my reward ratio here, the higher that we go. So that is the initial setup. The stop loss, as you can see, is here 62,900, and take profit, like I said, $67,400. That is the trade setup. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm currently in Russia, so I try to keep up the usual schedule that you're used to get these videos. Thank you so much for tuning in here again, and don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.